All right, so imagine you're just scrolling through your feed and then you see a post from your favorite influencer
Mm-hmm.
and they're raving about some new product and you're totally sold. Like, oh, I got to get this. But here's the thing. That influencer
Yeah.
isn't human.
Oh, wow.
It's AI. Would you even know?
That's wild.
That is just one of the mind-blowing things that we are diving into today as we explore AI.
It is fascinating, isn't it? This whole world of artificial intelligence, we're
Yeah.
going to unpack it all, the ethical dilemmas, those virtual influencers,
Yeah.
the impact on jobs, even deep fakes.
Yeah, and all of our sources today really paint this vivid picture of both the potential, the good, and the risks that come with it.
Absolutely. And figuring out how to harness that for good
Right.
and safeguard ourselves at the same time.
Yeah, it's a tightrope walk.
It is a setup.
So let's start with those AI influencers because they raise a really interesting question. Should they be designed to be just like humans, or should there be a clear distinction?
A clear distinction, yeah.
Because on the one hand, you can see the appeal of having an AI influencer who's relatable, understands your style,
Right.
gives you good recommendations, almost like a virtual best friend, but with really good taste.
Totally. And some argue that even just a more human-like AI could lead to more engaging and personalized experiences,
Right.
especially in things like marketing and customer service. Imagine having an AI assistant that not only schedules your meetings, but helps you pick out like the perfect outfit for that big presentation.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Right.
I would love that. But then there's
But then there's the flip side.
the flip side, exactly.
What happens when we can't even tell who's real and who's a bot?
That's where the ethical concerns really come into play.
Yeah.
If they're designed to be intentionally deceptive,
Mm-hmm.
it could erode trust
Yeah.
in all of our online interactions.
It's almost like a breach of trust, you know?
Yeah.
Find out that someone you thought was a real person.
It was actually just designed to sell you something.
Exactly. And that ties into this larger issue of transparency.
Yes?
Shouldn't there be a clear distinction
Yeah.
between a human and AI interaction?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we risk this world where authenticity is
Mhm.
almost impossible to discern.
Especially with deepfakes already blurring those lines between reality and fiction.
It's true.
This report actually dives into how dangerous this technology can be.
Yeah.
It's basically Photoshop, but for videos and audio. And it can be so convincing.
Like giving anyone the power to just create their own reality. And the implications are terrifying.
Yeah.
Imagine a political leader in a deepfake video declaring war.
Oh, God.
Or someone makes a fake audio recording of you saying something you never said.
It's scary.
And it's not just about celebrity scandals anymore or online pranks. Deepfakes have the potential to manipulate public opinion, incite violence, and even undermine democratic processes.
It's a Pandora's box that
Yeah.
we've opened, and it's not clear how to close it.
But there are efforts to combat this, you know?
Yeah.
Researchers are working on AI detectors that can actually identify these deepfakes, and policymakers are debating regulation for creation and distribution.
It's a game of cat and mouse.
It is a constant game of cat and mouse.
So we've got AI influencers potentially eroding our trust online,
Right.
deepfakes threatening reality itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. Let's shift gears a bit.
Let's shift gears and talk about jobs.
Okay.
Will AI steal our jobs,
Mm-hmm.
or will it create new opportunities?
It's a question that's on a lot of people's minds.
Yeah.
This research paper actually breaks it down into two camps. The job killers and the job creators.
It's like looking at a glass of water and arguing about whether it's half full or half empty.
Exactly. There are arguments on both sides.
Yeah.
On the one hand, AI is already automating tasks,
Yeah.
especially in manufacturing, transportation, even customer service.
Right.
And as AI gets smarter, that potential for job displacement will only grow.
So the fear that robots will take over our jobs is not entirely unfounded.
Not entirely, no.
But then there's the other side.
There's the other side.
AI has the potential to create new jobs
Exactly.
in AI development, data analysis, even fields we haven't even imagined yet.
Right. Think of the internet.
Yeah.
It led to some jobs disappearing, but it also created countless new ones.
Right.
Web development, e-commerce, social media.
So it's more about understanding how the landscape is shifting and preparing ourselves
Yes.
for those changes.
Exactly. And that means investing in education and training programs,
Yeah.
giving people the skills they'll need to thrive.
Yeah. So it's not just about robots taking our jobs. It's about adapting to a new reality.
Adapting to a new reality.
Where humans and machines are increasingly working side by side.
And that raises another question.
Yeah.
What does that collaboration look like?
How do we make sure that AI enhances human capabilities and doesn't replace them?
That brings us to regulation.
Yeah.
How do we balance fostering innovation with mitigating the risks?
No.
This policy brief outlines some of the key challenges and the proposed solutions.
Like, too much regulation stifles innovation.
Right.
Too little leaves us vulnerable.
Exactly. And finding that sweet spot is not easy.
So what role do we as individuals play in all of this?
The public has a crucial role to play.
Can we influence how AI is developed and deployed?
Absolutely.
Okay.
By staying informed, engaging in public discourse, and holding policymakers and tech companies accountable, we can ensure that AI is developed and used in ways that benefit society as a whole.
So it's not just about understanding the technology. It's about understanding the implications, making our voices heard, asking the tough questions, demanding transparency, advocating for the future we want.
Exactly. The future of AI isn't predetermined.
Right.
It's something we're creating together. And by having these conversations, demanding these ethical considerations, and fostering this culture of responsible innovation, we can help shape a future where AI empowers us rather than diminishes us.
Absolutely.
You know, it's interesting how this whole AI conversation keeps coming back to control.
Yeah.
Who's really in control? Us or the machines?
Right. It's like this tension.
Yeah.
On one hand, we create these powerful AI systems, but then we fear that they'll surpass our control, become too complex.
Yeah.
And that's where this whole debate about regulation gets really interesting.
It does.
Because how do you regulate something that's constantly changing?
Right.
Something that even the creators don't fully understand.
That's the question.
This policy brief highlights that some experts argue for those strict regulations to prevent misuse,
Yeah.
especially autonomous weapons or surveillance.
Right, because we need to set those boundaries.
Yeah.
Those ethical guidelines now before it's too late.
Before AI becomes so advanced that it's just impossible to control.
Like nuclear weapons?
Yeah.
The lack of early regulation,
Yeah.
it led to a global arms race.
And then there's the other side.
There's always another side.
They say too much regulation will stifle innovation, and we won't realize the full potential of AI.
They say we should focus on responsible innovation.
Right.
Encouraging developers and researchers to build safe and ethical systems aligned with human values.
It's like that whole freedom versus security thing.
Yeah.
How do we find the balance?
It's a complex issue.
Yeah.
There's no easy answer.
But the debate is just starting to heat up.
It is.
And it will impact how AI unfolds.
Yeah, it will.
It feels like we're at a crossroads.
Oh, yeah.
Where we need to decide what kind of future we want to create with AI.
And that brings us back to public engagement. It's not just up to the experts to figure this out.
Right.
It's happening in open forums, online, community meetings.
We need to be having these conversations.
Yes, we do.
Asking these tough questions.
Absolutely.
Demanding answers from those shaping the future.
This report talks about AI literacy. The more we know, the better equipped we'll be to participate.
It's like, if you don't know the rules of the game, you can't play effectively.
Right.
So AI literacy empowers us to be active in shaping the future.
It does.
Instead of just being passive bystanders.
We can advocate for our values, demand accountability.
So where does that leave us?
Good question.
We've talked about all this opportunity, but also the anxieties.
I think the key takeaway is this.
Yeah.
The future of AI is not predetermined. We have a choice.
But we have to be informed to make that choice.
Right. Informed.
Engaged.
Engaged, yes.
And willing to have the tough conversations.
Even if they make us uncomfortable.
It's like we're at the edge of something brand new.
We are.
And we need to decide which path to take.
And those paths will be shaped by the choices we make.
Yeah.
Not just by technology.
It's a lot to think about.
It is a lot.
But that's what these deep dives are all about, right?
We do here.
Exploring these issues.
Yeah.
Sparking conversations.
Firing action.
So, to our listeners out there,
yeah,
we encourage you to dive deeper. Do your own research.
Absolutely.
Talk about this with your friends and family.
Because the future of AI is being written right now.
Yeah.
And we're all part of it. It's striking how much of this comes back to what it means to be human.
Yeah.
Like, AI is forcing us to look at ourselves,
Yeah.
our values, what makes us unique.
Right.
This AI debates episode actually suggests that AI could help us understand ourselves better by looking at how AI systems learn, make decisions, even exhibit creativity.
I might learn about our own processes.
Exactly. Our biases, even consciousness.
So instead of AI being a threat to humanity,
Yeah.
it could be a tool for self-discovery.
Like a mirror reflecting back at us.
But let's bring it back down to earth.
Okay.
We've covered so much in this deep dive.
What have?
From those AI influencers to jobs to those deep fakes.
As we wrap up, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from this?
What's that key takeaway?
The future of AI is not a foregone conclusion.
Okay.
It's not set in stone. We have a choice.
We can influence it.
But we have to be informed, engaged, and take action.
It's not about just accepting what's coming.
No.
It's about shaping it.
Shaping it, yeah.
Recognizing that we have the power.
Yes.
To steer AI in the right direction.
We need to move past the fear and the hype and really think critically about how we want to live with this technology.
And remember that AI is a tool.
It is a tool.
And it can be used for good or bad.
Exactly.
It's up to us.
So, to our listener out there, what role will you play in this AI-powered future?
Will you be a passive observer?
Or an active participant?
The choice is yours in it.